What's going on, guys? It's Caleb and I'm back with another video. So this past week was Adobe Max and I had the opportunity to get to look at some of the new things that are coming out to Adobe products. Things like 3D in Illustrator and neural filters in Photoshop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play with some of those on my Mac and I'm going to let you guys watch the process and we'll just walk through and see what we can create. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Adobe released these new features at Adobe Max this week and I'm really excited to look into them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk through the process of playing with some of these new 3D Illustrator effects and some of the new neural filters in Photoshop, and I'm just going to take you guys along for the ride. So let's jump into it. All right, so what I'm thinking is I want to do a composition, some kind of like background, or call it an NFT, whatever you want to call it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start playing with the 3D effects in Illustrator. So this is all just going off of what I saw in Adobe Max. I haven't had a lot of time to play with this. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is showing you guys my process, playing with it just like this is my first time. So what we're doing is there's a new panel for 3D materials, and that's just effect 3D and materials right here, extrude and bevel. And that'll bring up this little window right here. And I'm really just gonna play with some of the sliders and things and see what we can get. So for this first one, it's gonna be a square. Let's see. And I'm gonna wanna rotate a little bit. I think I want the edges to be a little bit thicker. Let's see. So I think I do that over in stroke. Let's make this let's call it a 20 stroke. Let's call it maybe 50. That's a little too big, so let's go back to maybe 35. All right, that looks fine for now. The depth, maybe the depth's a little too big. That seems fine. I think I want to put a bevel on it. Actually, I don't want to fill inside of it. I want it to just be hollow. So I'll turn that fill off. And let's see the bevel. I think I want to give it like a round edge. I feel like that'll make it look a little more natural. And I think I can adjust that with this slider right here. Yeah, okay. So now this is the cool part right here, the materials. This is where when I saw this at Adobe Max, I was like, I'm really shocked that they're getting this inside of Illustrator. It's weird right now, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna keep playing with it and see what we can do with it. So there's the gold filter. It doesn't look great. So let's see if we can play around with it a little bit more. That one looks kind of fun. Let's go into these options right here and see what we can't adjust. So you can change the resolution, which is interesting. So that kind of made it a little cleaner. See color variation, let's slide that a little bit. Oh, that's nice. Add a little bit more contrast. Okay. Pit depth. What is pit depth? Okay. Smooth surface, let's turn that down a little bit. Let's put it back where it was. Spot intensity. It's kind of fun. Surface deformation. Roughness. So it really just kind of makes it a little brighter. Put that down, back a little bit. Metallic. Actually, I like the metallic pretty high. Metallic variation. Put that back where it was. Hue shift. Oh, that's cool. So you can change the color. We'll keep that where it was. Bump the saturation, pull that down a little bit. I actually kind of like it a little bit muted. All right, let's get into lighting. So I turn on ray tracing, which seems to increase the quality, but also it's probably going to slow my computer down a lot more. So might need to turn that off while I'm adjusting the sliders. Let's turn that off for right now. Yeah, I like the little shadows in there. I like how it's hidden like that. Do I like the shadows on there? I don't think I want shadows. Nah, no shadows. Okay. I'll go and I'll add some shadows in Photoshop. All right, so there's our first shape. I think that looks pretty cool. All right, let's do it again. This time I'm gonna do a sphere. So get our little ellipse. We don't want a stroke, we just want it to be filled. So grab that and object. I think inflate is what we want to do. Obviously it doesn't look like anything right now because... No, we want inflate. Let's turn on maybe wax paint. Let's see what that looks like. No, that's cool. Yeah, I think I like that. Wow, already out the gate, it looks good. So let's see how much we got to play with. Ooh, that looks actually really good. Kind of looks like a planet right now. I bet you could do some really cool like space looking things with this effect. So I'm just gonna, oh, that's cool. I'm gonna play with these sliders, see what kind of effects we get. I kind of like that. And I can play with the hue, which is really dope, but I think I like that blue color. Way too saturated. All right, that's pretty freaking cool. Let's see. Play the lighting a little bit. It's a little too harsh. Softness. I kind of want it to be hard though. I mean, that looks pretty sweet to me so far. All right, so we got that. Let's do one more shape. I think we're gonna do a triangle. So let's grab a triangle. All right, let's do object, extrude. Okay, wonder what revolve would do. Oh, that's wild looking. But I don't think that's what I want. No, let's do extrude. I don't think that's the angle I want, so I'm gonna play with the angle a little bit. Here's the depth. Hold on, let's get the angle the way I want it first. Okay, that looks cool. It looks funky right now because of whatever this bevel's doing. Let me get that fixed. And I don't like this material. That's making it confusing too. Let's throw it on this. Okay, object. So we have a bevel. I want to do, I think, yeah, there's a step one. I want to do that. And then there's this option right here that says bevel inside. That'll make it kind of cool. This material is making it really hard to see what this is. Let's put it on default for now. And let's change this color to something I can see. I can't hardly see that. Okay. Let's go back to these steps. That's pretty cool right there. All right. All right, now let's find a material that actually looks good. And honestly, I'm just playing around right now. I don't know which one's going to look good or natural, so I mean, this is kind of the whole idea of this video, is just explore these programs, see what they can do. I mean, this is kind of blowing my mind right now that I'm doing this in Illustrator. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but we're going to go with it. Oh, that's way too light. So I think I like this wood idea. So it's looking pretty good. Live cut, so you can do different cuts. I think I like live. Man, there's so many different variations and features. It's pretty intense, honestly. I just don't know if wood's what I'm going for, though. Some of these are a little bit hard to see. All right, we'll stick with the wood. I think I want to go back to the steps. Let me see what else we have. That's kind of cool. I think I need to rotate it though. Something about the rotation is just not working for me. That's kind of cool. All right, let's go to lighting. See what we can do with lighting. That looks good. That's looking pretty cool. Let's go one more thing. Let's see if we can. Let me see what round looks like. Yeah, it's definitely not what I wanted to do. All right, I'm gonna turn ray tracing on for all these, because that should make it look a little bit better. All right, let's do it for this one as well. Yeah, that really just adds the last little bit, like really renders it in and makes it look good. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna export each piece as a PNG. Desktop, PNG, yep. And I'm just doing export selection by right clicking. All right, so let's drop this. Let's go into Photoshop. Let me make sure I can find my assets first. All right, here they are. I'm gonna drag them into Photoshop. Okay. So they look good here, but I think what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna go back into Illustrator and I'm gonna organize them the way I want them to be organized. So I think I want this here, maybe that one behind. Obviously, there's gonna be a lot of loading time in this. I have a pretty fast MacBook Pro, but it's going to be pretty rendering. There's not a super heavy graphics card on this computer. So you just have to be patient when you're doing this kind of stuff. Now, if you have like a dedicated gaming PC or something, that would probably handle this a lot better because the graphics cards are a little bit stronger. Cannot seem to figure this out. Hold on one second. Got to make sure the whole composition makes sense. Right now, something's not working in my mind, so I'm gonna keep fooling with it until I figure it out. All right, I think I got everything where I want it to go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna call it 3D shapes. I'm just gonna save it as an Illustrator file onto my desktop. Save that. And once it's saved, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump back into Photoshop and I'm gonna drag that AI file into Photoshop. And now we'll have that vector file in here. And it's going to be nice, big, full resolution. And this will be a good start to what I want to do. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get onto the internet and I'm going to use pixels. You can use any images you want. I just want to use pixels because they're royalty-free photos that I can use, and this will be good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a landscape. And I'm just going to find something that I think looks good. And I want a vertical orientation. This one actually looks really cool. So let's download this one. I'm going to throw this into my Photoshop file. All right, so now I have it in here. Stretch it to make it fit the right size. I'm going to throw this to the background. Okay, now that I've got this downloaded, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click a scene and I'm going to let it do its thing. And all this stuff is pretty taxing on your computer's graphics card. So again, be patient, just let the computer do its thing. It'll take time. So that's what this one made it look like. Let's play with some of the others and see what it does. So that one's pretty cool. All right, so that looks pretty cool. Let's go back and let's see the difference. So here's the original one, and here's the Photoshop neural filters. It's pretty crazy. You could just do that automatically. All AI right here. All right, so it's looking good. What I want to do is I want to throw another layer on here. This will just be a full color layer. I'm probably gonna do like purple or something trippy. Let's do like a bright purplish. I'm just going to set this layer style to color. All right, so that looks cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same neural filters, but I'm going to do it on these 3D shapes, and I'm going to see what that creates. All right, so this is a good example that the neural filter is not going to be good for everything, and that's okay. This is a lot of experimentation and a lot of fun. I really encourage you to just play around and see what you can do. So what I'm going to do now is just add a couple more things to spice this up, and we'll call it a day. Well guys, here's what I made. I had a lot of fun using Adobe Illustrator's new 3D feature and Photoshop's new neural filters. I think there's a lot of creativity that can happen with these, and I'm excited to continue playing with it, and most importantly, see what you guys do with these. So if you guys followed along or did something on your own with these new things, I'd love to see them. Make sure you tag me or let me know in the Discord. Well guys, that's all I got for you today. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up for me. And if you want to see content like this in the future, make sure you're subscribed. If you want to see content like this now, you can just go back to my older videos. I have a ton of illustrations, logo designs, rebrands. Check it out. If you want to get a hold of me, I'll have my Discord linked below. It's a great place for us to chat and just talk design. Well guys, I appreciate you being here, and until the next time, peace.